Morning, guys. Well, this is the first rain that we've had in a long time. It's projected to kind of sprinkle of the morning and then kind of get heavy a little after lunch. So what else do you do on a day like today but go out and get a load of triple 19 and throw down? So I'm going to take you guys with me and we'll see what we can get done today. I may end up having to throw a poncho on whenever I get home because, you know, I'm the idiot that doesn't have any type of cab or roof on his tractors, but we'll make it work. My cousins and uncles, they finished everything up here yesterday with these two fields, this one right here and this one across the creek. Let me know how it is in your all's area. It seems like everywhere that I've read, everyone's hay was short because of how dry we were. I'm afraid that we're going to get even more dry. I don't know. I'm just glad it's not in my hands. It's in the good Lord's hands. So now I'm going to spread something that I've never spread before. I'm going to try some triple 19. Triple 19 has 19 units of urea, 19 units of phosphorus, and 19 units of potash. I believe, if I'm right on that. It's a little bit stout, but it's got a stout amount of urea, but it does have the potash and phosphorus to back it up. And if you don't have any legumes, which I'm struggling with because of how I spray, your ground needs some type of nitrogen, and that's where your urea comes in. So I'm hoping that maybe it won't suck too much out of my ground because it doesn't really have any legumes putting any back. So, well, here we go, guys. Made it to our local co-op. I'm going to see if they can put a tube in one of Dad's lawnmower tires and go in here and get us some fertilizer. Now what he's doing, he's got different fertilizer back there in the back in different bays, and he puts it in that hopper up here and it comes into this. I think I've explained this in another video, but just to make sure if you've never seen my old videos before. Fertilizer comes in here and it's almost like a concrete mixer, and then it conveyors out into the buggy. Anyone who also knows fertilizer buggies know the Doyle buggies are like top of the line. And I wanted to make sure that I got one with a tarp just so rain couldn't get in there and mush it up. We finally made it back from town. Sorry I didn't get any footage going to town or back from town, but you know it's kind of illegal to hold your phone up going down the road, and the last thing I really would need is to rear end somebody at a red light because I was holding my phone up. You may be asking why I chose today to spread. So potash and phosphorus isn't really that big a deal, but when you have nitrogen, urea, that's mixed in with your fertilizer, it has to have water on it, unless it has something called DAP. I believe that's the right name of it. DAP is a coating that keeps the nitrogen from evaporating, but once again, I'm hoping that maybe if I get this spread, maybe there will be some more rain come through, and maybe there'll be enough moisture in the ground to just soak it right in. So we'll go ahead and get unhooked, and we'll go ahead and hook it up to the 990. May go up and throw my big coat on so I don't get too wet, but it looks like the rain's kind of let up for now, so we'll just have to see. All right, here she is, boys, ready to work. Never let me down yet, so let's hope it don't today. Fred. Now I've got this set at about 200 pounds an acre. Triple 19, there's a lot more, I guess, density into it. So it does kind of take a lot more fertilizer to cover a certain amount of ground. Now, if you were spreading straight up urea, you probably wouldn't really be putting like 800 pounds to all 13, 14 acres. But where this has got phosphorus and everything in it too, it takes quite a bit more. Start doing some back and forths real quick. Now this thing's supposed to have a 40-foot spread pattern. And I've got it turned down too. I've got it turned down about ½ an inch where it should be. So if we do have a little left over, I'll just bring it back up in here in these center spots. maybe 500 pounds left in the back. And I'm going over some of my thinnest stuff up here in the big field. They didn't really make the most this spring. Just trying to give it something a little extra. And the part that doesn't really make much down here below the barn was actually a tobacco patch for probably 10, 15 years. And so I would say that that tobacco's probably sucked a lot of nutrients out of the ground. Right there, I guess I'll give you a little history lesson while we're doing this. Right there where that barn is now, there was a barn probably about 85 feet long and maybe 60 feet wide. Couldn't use any of it because it was just built strictly for tobacco. And over there behind the green truck in the yard in front of that cherry tree, there was another barn that was for hay. And I've seen pictures of it, but I can't remember it because it was tore down before I was born. But my dad said that the lofts were so big you could have a full-blown basketball game in the top of it. The barns just got decapitated, or whatever that word is. Basically, it was to the point of no repair, and there wasn't much use for them. So we tore this one down, and I can remember whenever we tore it down and built that one, I was probably about 16 or 17. It was definitely a process. But there's no longer a use for those barns because tobacco came and gone. It's part of life. In a way, it's good because, you know, people stop smoking or chewing and causing cancer. But in another way, we don't need to forget it because it literally paid for a ton of farms, shoes, clothes, things like that. We got those clouds. So we got it all spread. Like I said earlier in the video, I had some left over, so I went ahead and just got it all out. We're gonna go ahead and unhook it from the tractor, hook it back up to the truck, all loaded up.